Alright, here we are Easter morning on Dagan Farms. It's April 5th, 2015, and I wanted to do a setup on the aquaponic system and show you what we've done so far and what we're hoping to do in the future. I have it set up in a hoop house just to extend the season and stuff, and what it is a 20 by 20 hoop house. And if you haven't built your own hoop house, they're not hard to do. This is just made out of EMT pipe and some wood. I can explain that later. But what we want to do today is concentrate on the aquaponic system. So what I have is a chop system. It's a constant height one pump, which means the aquarium stays at a constant height. And what I have, we'll start at I have the sump, and it brings the water up. The pump down there brings the water up. And right now I just have some goldfish in here. I'm probably going to get more goldfish till I can get bluegill. And you can see the bubbles. And what this is the water pressure in this tank drags the water up from the bottom there. And I have bolts down there, so the bolt heads are keeping about 1/4 inch off the bottom, and that's supposed to suck up all the, most of the solids, and it brings it up, brings it down here, and then I have an elbow coming up. That takes the solids, and as it comes out the top of the pipe, the bucket here comes down to about here, and it lets the solids settle to the bottom of this thing. And then the cleaner water is up here on the outside of the bucket, and that comes into the beds. Now, the beds are where the action happens. This is where your bacteria live. And what the bacteria does, it takes the ammonia from the fish, and you have a bacteria that turns it into nitrite, and then another bacteria that turns the nitrite into nitrate. And so what I have in here is I have a bottom layer of some big river rock, and then I have about 4 or 5 inches of lava rock that come to about 3 inches of the sides. And the lava rock is just as a filler to defray the cost of the clay on top. This stuff is pricey. So I only had to use half as much clay as if you filled it up just with clay. The lava rock's lightweight. It's just harder to work with because it's, it's got more sharp edges, and it comes in all kinds of sizes, but it's a good medium, to use if you want to use it. From here, it comes down into these raft beds, and then from the raft beds it goes back into the sump, it's all pumped through. Now, in here we have bell siphons. These things are, I'll call them temperamental. If I wasn't doing it on camera, I'd call them a pain in something else. But what these do, let me see. Oh, this one's going to start. What this does is it allows the bed to fill, and then as it goes over a standpipe, it creates suction and then drains the whole bed down, and then lets it fill back up. Because what will happen is at the end there, it'll start sucking in air, and it'll break the siphon, and then it allows everything to to start again. We'll see if this one starts up now. I'm having a little bit of issues, I guess, with the pump. I guess would be the best way to put it. It's not that bad, but it's something that I'm noticing with these bell siphons. Because what you have to do is you have to get enough water flow over the top to, how to explain it? If you just have water coming over the top, it's not actually going to create suction, okay? It needs to come over the top in such a way where it kind of fills in, so there's no more air getting in also, and then that creates the suction, which will draw everything up. But if your water is coming in too slow, it'll just dump over the edge. It'll never create that suction. Now, they both worked earlier, so I don't know if there's going to be any issues with them working now. But that might be a problem with my pump, because with this pump, it's 1,000 gallon per hour, and I know I'm getting enough flow through the system, for it to be to keep it healthy. But I have everything opened up wide. See, I got this one opened up wide, that one opened up wide. That just controls how much is going through both, so I can kind of equalize that. And since everything's opened up, this is the most, and since that's opened up all the way, I'm pushing as much water as I can. And if I'm not getting it to go fast enough to start suction, then it's I'm going to have to upgrade my pump already. I mean, if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. But I'd rather have a bigger pump, I think. And that way, what I could do is either stop some flow here or turn this one on, which will send it back to the sump. And that'll allow me to put this Venturi into play too, because that's where I'm getting my air from, is Venturi. I only have the one pump. So as the water comes through here and goes down, it's pulling air through here, which if it wasn't so windy you could actually hear it. So it's pulling air through there, and that's what's making my bubbles here. And the more air you can get in the system, the better. So if I could get more air to come from this type, from this way, then I'd be better off. So I think I'm really going to do exactly that, is upgrade the pump a little bit more. And then after that, I just need another week or so of age before, and I'll test the water again, a couple more times. I'll keep testing the water to see when I start getting some good nitrate levels and I can put some plants in. But I have 153 holes. I don't know how long that's going to take before, or how many fish I'm going to need too, before I could do that. And then this I have, I mean, I know it's rigged to return now, but it's also rigged to where I could cut this pipe here and then put a 45 on, and then I can come with the like a gutter system. It was just going to be some 4-inch pipes with holes drilled in them to put net cups in, and then I can run that, but that's later. But right now it looks like the far suction's not starting, which means I'm not getting enough flow to start the suction. Because you need that flow to start the suction, but you don't need enough flow that keeps up with it. So I don't know. I'll have to do some more tweaking of the system here. I've had this one running for a week and a half now. This side, this grow bed, this raft. That one leaked too bad, so I had to replace all that. So that's why. Oh, it's running now. See how it's running real fast now? Let's see if I can. Yeah, so that's sucking that dry. Alright, so it's working. It just takes a while to get started because of the flow of the water. But my whole thing is to use Venturis because I want to get this off grid. I want to build a do-it-yourself wind turbine, and maybe a couple small solar panels or something. I don't know exactly yet, but my ultimate goal is to get it offline. What I would like to do is, if I was making enough, I could add air to the system, and I would add it to these raft beds. I would, have some air stones running through these raft beds to add air to them. And the more air you get, the better it is for everything. The fish like it more, the plants like it more. So we're going to have to see about that. As of right now, as long as the fish are happy, it seems like, that's going well. So I'm going to add some more fish, and then I'll come back for an update every once in a while to show the different stages of this. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks.